Welcome to Vault of Secrets, the home of horror, mystery, and stories the world tries to forget. If you're someone who's fascinated by the eerie, the unexplainable, and the chilling, spine-chilling unknown, you've just found your new favorite channel. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We dive deep into the forgotten,
It's called the elevator.
the haunted, and the hidden. From ancient legends to dark history and real unsolved cases. This channel isn't just about fear. It's about a deep, relentless curiosity and confronting the shadows that hide just beyond the edges of our comfort zone. Have you ever heard of a place that breathes but has no people? A town where lights seem to flicker in windows with no one behind them, and the sound of phantom footsteps echoes through streets that lead to nowhere. A place officially abandoned, systematically erased from modern maps, yet somehow, defiantly, still alive. Today, we travel to such a place, a forgotten town in the heart of Pennsylvania with a fire still burning beneath it. A fire that is both devastatingly real and hauntingly metaphorical. This is the true story of Centralia, the ghost town that refuses to die. Our story begins not with a ghost, but with a community. In the mid-20th century, Centralia, Pennsylvania, was the quintessential American coal town. It was a place built on grit and bedrock, full of life. Imagine a bustling main street, shops with cheerful awnings, the sound of church bells on a Sunday morning, and the daily rumble of miners returning home, their faces smudged with the very coal that fueled the nation. With a proud population of over 1,000, the town thrived on hard work, family, and an unshakable community spirit. Life was woven into the very fabric of the land. Then, on Memorial Day weekend of 1962, everything changed forever. The town council decided to tidy up. They hired a group of volunteer firefighters to clean the town's landfill, located in an old abandoned strip mine pit. Their method was tragically common for the time. Set the garbage ablaze. It seemed harmless, a quick and easy solution. But what no one knew, or perhaps what someone fatally ignored, was that the pit was not properly sealed. A flaw, a crack in the earth provided an opening. The surface fire, intended to burn for only a few hours, crept downwards, like a serpent finding its lair. It found a vein of rich anthracite coal. And once ignited, this subterranean fire found a virtually endless source of fuel in the labyrinthine mining tunnels that snake for miles beneath the town's foundations. An eternal flame had been lit in the heart of the earth. For years, the fire was an invisible monster. Residents noticed strange things, an acrid, sulfurous smell in their basements, wisps of smoke curling up from cracks in the ground. But the warnings grew louder, impossible to ignore. By the late 1970s, the ground itself was becoming feverish. The owner of a local gas station, Mayor John Coddington, took temperature readings of his underground fuel tanks. The thermometer registered a terrifying 172 degrees Fahrenheit. The gasoline was near its boiling point, turning his business into a potential bomb. Then came the incident that shattered all illusions of safety. On Valentine's Day, 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski was playing in his grandmother's backyard. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way with a sickening crumble. He plunged into a steaming 150-foot deep fissure that had opened without warning. As a plume of hot, toxic gas with lethal levels of carbon monoxide billowed around him, he managed to cling desperately to a gnarled tree root. He was saved from being cooked alive or suffocated only by the quick thinking of his cousin, who pulled him from the abyss just in time. It was a miracle he survived. That was the town's final, terrifying wake-up call. The invisible monster had just tried to swallow a child. Scientists, geologists, and government officials descended on Centralia. But by then, it was far too late. The fire had spread into a vast, uncontrollable network. It was a subterranean inferno, and no one could predict where its fiery breath would surface next. The diagnosis was terminal. The town of Centralia was sitting on top of a raging underground blaze that could not be extinguished. In 1983, the U.S. government allocated more than $42 million for a voluntary buyout program. The decision tore the close-knit community apart. Families were forced into an impossible choice: accept the money and leave their homes, their history, and their neighbors, or stay and risk their lives. A slow, heartbreaking exodus began. One by one, houses were sold, then demolished by wrecking crews, reducing family homes to splintered wood and rubble. Streets that once echoed with children's laughter fell silent, then buckled and collapsed into the smoldering ground. In 2002, the U.S. Postal Service delivered the final blow. Zip code 77927 was officially discontinued. Centralia was wiped off the map, a bureaucratic erasure of a place that once was. But not everyone left. A handful of residents refused to surrender. They fought a decades-long legal battle for the right to remain, becoming defiant ghosts in their own hometown. As of today, fewer than 5 people still live there, surrounded by empty lots and silent streets. Centralia has no official government, but it still has power and a palpable presence. Stranger still, visitors to the area report that the town doesn't feel abandoned. In fact, it feels occupied by something unseen. This is where the story shifts from a historical tragedy to a modern-day horror story. People who walk the remaining fractured roads of Centralia claim they hear things. Low, unintelligible whispers carried on the wind, seeming to emanate from the steam vents themselves, as if the earth is trying to speak. Some say they've seen shadowy figures through the skeletal trees, only to turn and find absolutely no one there. Technology seems to fail here. Cell phones lose their signal, GPS systems glitch and spin, unable to find a lock. And there's an overwhelming, deeply primal feeling that you are being watched. It's a heavy, oppressive sensation that settles on your shoulders the moment you step out of your car. Even the air itself feels wrong. Pockets of unnatural warmth hang in the atmosphere, followed by sudden, icy cold spots that raise the hair on your arms. The smell of sulfur and scorched earth is a constant, suffocating reminder of the hellfire below, which still burns at over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The fire isn't just a hazard anymore. For those who visit, it feels like a warning. Some of it was clearly the work of pranksters or urban artists, but other symbols were more disturbing. They resembled ancient runes, alchemical glyphs, and sigils, believed by some to be linked to occult rituals. Paranormal researchers claimed the highway was a conduit, that the immense, unending energy of the fire and the trauma of a dying town had created a hotbed of spiritual activity, a portal perhaps to something else. Was it just art? Or was it an attempt to communicate with whatever lurks in the smoke? But in a strange twist, the legend was buried. In 2020, the private company that owns the land brought in trucks and covered the entire stretch of road with massive piles of dirt, wiping the canvas clean. The official reason was to deter tourists, but many wonder, were they trying to bury a legend, or were they trying to seal something in? Centralia's strange and terrifying story has bled into popular culture. Its influence is most famously seen in the horror franchise Silent Hill. The creators of both the video games and the 2006 movie have cited Centralia as a direct inspiration. The connection is uncanny. A town shrouded in a perpetual fog, which in Silent Hill is a supernatural phenomenon, but in Centralia is the real-life smoke and steam leaking from its wounded earth. The empty streets, the abandoned buildings, the feeling of a deep hidden evil lurking just below the surface. It's Centralia, filtered through the lens of fiction. This fame has turned the ghost town into a pilgrimage site for thrill seekers and paranormal investigators from around the world. But many leave shaken. Visitors speak of recurring nightmares after their visit, dreams of falling, of being lost in smoky corridors. Others report an invisible presence that seems to follow them home, a psychic stain they can't seem to wash away. This isn't just an abandoned place. It's a living myth, a real location with a history so dark, it reads like the very best horror fiction. So what now? The fire still burns. It is a subterranean inferno, a geological beast with a lifespan measured in centuries. Scientists estimate there is enough coal beneath Centralia to fuel the blaze for another 250 years. The land above may look quiet, scarred, and empty, but beneath the surface, it is violent, restless, and dangerously alive. The few residents who remain have made a strange peace with their home. They are not simply stubborn, they are living testaments to the town's memory, the last guardians of a story written in smoke and ash. They speak of the quiet, of the solitude, but they also hint at things, odd dreams that feel too real, strange feelings of lost time, and the unshakable sense that they're not truly alone, even when they are the only living souls for miles. This town isn't dead, it's hiding, it's watching, and maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for someone to uncover what really started the fire. Thank you for watching Vault of Secrets, where every episode pulls back the curtain on something unsettling, unexplainable, or terrifyingly real. If this story gave you chills or made you think twice about the places forgotten by time, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Your support helps us continue uncovering the stories that the world wants to forget. Comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe the strange phenomena are real, or just the product of an eerie atmosphere? And what do you think about the decision to bury the Graffiti Highway? We read every comment and feature our favorites. And always remember, some places aren't haunted by the spirits of the dead. They're haunted by the enduring memories of a place that refuses to be forgotten. A place that is still burning. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next episode of Vault of Secrets.